Welcome to the Backstage Pass. I'm your host, Parker Brown. I'm here today with Jonathan Juliano. Jules, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. So, just kind of starting off, this is your last year with the Rockers, correct?
Yes.
So, you mentioned that in the banquet. What led to that decision?
A lot of it has to do with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Two of my three kids play hockey, and I help coach their teams. So this year, they had numerous tournaments, and I wasn't able to be there. They were out of town, and thankfully, my wife and my dad, my mom and dad, they helped us out a lot this year, and I feel like it's time to be there with them and be able to experience those tournaments with them. So, and actually last year would have been my last year, but it just didn't end the way that
You wanted it
I
to?
wanted it to. It ended. It didn't end on my terms.
What's your terms?
like it is this year.
Perfect.
I've played every game of the season. We're making playoffs, and we're going to make a run for it. So, obviously, last year I had no decision in quitting playing. I had a medical condition. So,
Mm-hmm. So, you've been all over throughout your career. You were with the Solar Bears for a stint. You're also in Slovenia, which we'll talk about later in the show. How did you find your way to the FPHL?
I started in Europe. If we go back from the beginning, I was going to be done playing hockey after I played. I won a national championship at Davenport Division I club, and then I was just going to be done going to work. And my friend called me. He was playing over in Slovenia. Said that they needed some guys. They had some import issues, so around Thanksgiving I went over there, and that's how I got back into it after 7 months.
And all right.
And then going to Danville, I actually ended up having foot surgery and had to recover from that. And trying to think who reached out to me. I think it was just a friend of a friend that got me into Danville. I actually went to Danbury's camp first, but
Really?
I wasn't too crazy about it there.
So within the league, you've been with Danville, you've been with Port Huron, you've been with us now. So, kind of thinking about those destinations within the league, what have been your kind of favorite memories from each of those spots? I believe you also had a stint in St. Clair.
Yeah, the only season St. Clair Shores had a team. I played there. Starting out in Danville, I actually played for Danville for a full season. The next season I got released and went and played for Dayton, and then they traded me to Watertown. I got played one game in Watertown and asked for a trade back to Danville, and I got a trade back to Danville. That's how I ended up there a second time. So I met my wife there, and that's probably the best thing to come out of Danville, other than we did win a championship, but we moved back here in 2015. St. Clair Shores started a team in 2016-17, I believe, and that was great for me because my work was 2 miles away from the rink in St. Clair Shores, so I played about 40 games there and asked for a trade back to Danville because we wanted to make a run there. I was actually on my honeymoon in Hawaii, and they traded me back to Danville. So, and that was the year we won it. We won the championship. So that was a good memory. We had a lot of great guys there.
So is it true that your kids have won more championships than you?
No. My daughter did. Last year she won the 8U girls championship. This year they won the 10U girls championship, but I have 4 national championship rings.
so what Gordy's saying is completely untrue.
Yeah.
So Danville's definitely got a special place in your heart. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you met your wife. Now, being back home in Fraser, Michigan, playing for, I'm assuming you played in this rink when you were a kid.
Yeah.
What is it like to come back home and have the chance now to win the Commissioner's Cup here in Fraser, Michigan?
It'd be great. I mean, just being back where it all started. I mean, this rink used to only have 3 rinks here, so and not just me, but my older brothers and my sister also played out of here, and being able to have all of my friends and family, they can come watch me whenever they want when we play here, and that's never happened. So this is kind of like the best case scenario. This was the best thing that could happen. So,
kind of getting a little more in the statistics. Through 56 games this season, you've scored 38 points. That's the highest you've had since you were with St. Clair Shores or that season. Is it important to end your career on that kind of note where you're potentially going to pass that milestone?
Yeah, I mean, being 37, I mean, being older, and I don't feel like I'm any different. I mean, I have more knowledge now than I did 10 years ago, but I don't feel skill level. I don't feel like I'm any different than I was when I started. I still feel that I have the same energy, and at sometimes I feel better, so which is crazy to say, but.
And you've been a highlight for Ben Zalagi. He's talked up and down about you, just how this season's been super great for you. What has been your favorite part of this season with the Rockers?
I mean, we have such a great group of guys. It's a lot of other teams. You have little groups within the team, and this team's it's different. It's just basically one big family. Everybody hangs out together, and we get along great. I mean, obviously you have your little tussles here and there, but I mean, it's nice to have that locker room.
And that luckily you're not the first person to say that. We have heard that all season long, that this group has been so tightly knit. I mean, Wells would say or Delaney, TJ said that it was pretty low drama. So there's not a lot of instances where guys are getting at each other or whatnot. But you also received an A on your jersey this season. So how has being a leader to the younger players in the locker room kind of helped you grow as an individual?
I mean, having the A or not, it's just a letter on the jersey, but being able to teach the younger players and really them just watching you on what you do, and it's nice to pass the knowledge along to younger guys, because obviously the sooner they learn it, the better, because it's only going to help them get to higher leagues, and that's really the goal, is to see these guys grow and get into those higher leagues. When I was playing in Port Huron, we had a guy on my team who's now playing in the East Coast, full time. So it's nice to see those guys move up and stick there.
And you mentioned you were a father of 3, unless I'm wrong about the number.
No, that's right.
You mentioned some of the downsides of being a father and a pro hockey player at the same time, but can you kind of expand on that and talk more about the pros and cons about the two?
I mean, our schedule is just jam packed during the season. I think we had Tuesday off normally from hockey. We were always at the rink between me and my son or my daughter. So, I mean, it's really my kids in the beginning. Sometimes it was kind of a fight to get them to the rink, and now they just love hockey. Like, they love watching hockey. They've come to love playing the game, and they now are in the basement shooting pucks because they want to. And so it's awesome to see that, and they come to the rink and get to watch our games. And I mean, obviously the downside is being away from them. When we go on these road trips, being gone for 3-4 days and missing them scoring their goals, but they love telling me about it, so that's a fun part. But then my youngest daughter, she's always by my side, so it's tough seeing, being away from that too.
So you've been on both sides of the Battle of I-94, like we mentioned with Port Huron. I've noticed throughout the season, like when we went to Elmira early in the season, really wherever you go, you're always saying hi to some of the players on the other opposing team. Are you still friends with a lot of the players on Port Huron?
Yeah. I played with Dalton J and Matt Graham, and Johnson and Parsons. I played with all those guys, for a few years, and when you're on the ice, it's different. You still battle for the puck, and but off the ice, it's you can be friends, and even on the ice, I joke around every now and then. You can throw them off their game a little bit, but even during the season, guys you don't know, you still talk to them. That's just kind of the player that I am. Just being friendly on the ice and making it a fun game. Really, that's what it's all about.
At the end of the season, however it wraps up, what will you miss most about being a pro hockey player?
Skating as much as we do. I love being on the ice, and there's really, I'm going to try and stay in the best shape that I can, but there's no workout like, playing hockey that you can't match that in anything you do. So being able to stay in that kind of shape is always the tough part.
Do you have any superstitions when it comes to your pregame ritual or postgame ritual or just anything in general?
I would say, we always played soccer before, and I always stick around. After everyone's done, I always stick around and juggle the ball by myself, and usually just try and keep it up in the air. Like, I usually try and get over 100 in a row without it touching the ground. That's kind of my thing, and I think my record's 800. But
really,
yeah, so
that's crazy. I'm not coordinated enough to do that.
Yeah, it helps get me focused and also at the same time get my legs going. So
okay, so I mentioned this earlier in the episode, but you spent one season in Slovenia, I believe, if I'm correct. And you were also the only American on the team. What was it like to play hockey in a whole different country? You and JMO have that similar experience where being out of country, playing hockey, and a completely different culture.
Mm-hmm.
Just explain how that time was for you.
So my friend that was there was also American, but he was injured. He was a goalie, so that's he didn't actually get back from injury until it was real late in the season. But it was such a great experience. Like we were right on the border of Slovenia and Austria, so you could see all the mountains and everything. But having a house and a car, and they gave you a meal every day. You got to go to a restaurant and order a meal every day. But the language barrier is the toughest part. There was a couple other imports there from other countries who spoke English, but being in the locker room and everyone talking and you have no idea what they're saying, that's probably the toughest part.
So you kind of feel for Pavel right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I know what he's going through, but he's doing so well with his English, and he's starting to understand, without going to his phone and translating.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed the first couple times I would talk to him early in the season, he's pulled out the phone. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's just the Google Translate. I'm like, I'm sorry, I wish I could speak Russian. I wish I could help you out. So we're heading into the playoffs. We're playing Friday, Saturday, potentially Sunday against Danbury. What are some of your general expectations for yourself and for the team?
I just think that we need to play the way we have been playing, really. When we all work together and play our game, we that's how we played against Columbus. That's how we played against Binghamton when we beat them. And it's really just gonna come naturally to us. You know, it's I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's not easy. You got to work hard for it, but if we play our game, we'll be fine. And really, win or lose, we should be happy if we play.
And going into Danbury this Friday, split the series last time we were there. You mentioned it's not your cup of tea for the environment. Can you just talk to me about how and what we can expect Friday and Saturday, just kind of game-wise? Like, what should we expect that you guys against Danbury? What are you expecting Danbury to really focus on for you guys?
I mean, obviously going into Danbury, their biggest thing is their fans. You know, their fans get on you, but you know, that doesn't matter. They're not playing the game, so going in there with a lot of energy and just playing a simple game, it's gonna beat them. So we have, like I said, a closer knit team where we have a better bond, and I truly think that we can work harder than them. We will.
So we had 3 members of the Rockers team that were awarded with accolades this season. Coach Gordy Brown, Coach of the Year, Josh Colton, and Jamison Milam, First Team All-Star. What do you like just see your teammates kind of get those big accolades, and your coach getting Coach of the Year, which is pretty big. What is it like to be playing under Gordy Brown? What is it like to be playing alongside Josh, who you also, I believe, played with in St. Clair and
Port Huron?
And Port Huron. Yeah. So, kind of seeing that connection also, what is it like just having these guys by your side?
I mean, obviously, both of those guys are defensemen, and it's great to have a good defensive core. And, that's where you build your team, is in the defensive zone. So it's nice having them both on our team and get awarded for that. And they're both great guys off the ice too. JMO works for me, and he's a great guy. I mean, I wouldn't have hired him if he wasn't. So and like Josh, like you said, we played on St. Clair Shores and Port Huron, and I've known him for a while. And I mean, he's just he's always been a solid player. So, and JMO, he brings so much experience to the team. Having Gordy there, he's good for the guys. I mean, he's easy to be around. Joke around with him and laid back. It's not like some coaches I've played for. You're afraid to go talk to him or something. So he's great for the team that we have.
And kind of transitioning to a player you live with on a day-to-day basis, and your favorite roommate, Vandy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, what is it like to be around Vandy, like on a day-to-day basis? Kind of, I don't know how that dichotomy is with you and him in the same house, how your guys' relationship is. You could easily hate each other, and I don't know. Just talk about Vandy and you and your relationship.
So, I mean, I'm pretty laid back, so not a lot really bothers me, but we get along pretty well. But like on a day-to-day basis, I'll see him at practice, and then sometimes I don't see him for the rest of the day because I go to work, and then my kids have hockey. Sometimes I'll come home and we don't even see each other. So it's not like we're hanging around each other every day and we get sick of each other. Some of the guys I probably see more than him.
Really? Even though you live in the same house?
Yeah. It's just, sometimes we cross paths in the kitchen when he's grabbing a snack or but
you're like, hey, nice to see ya.
Yeah. No, I mean, you would think we would see each other a lot more, but because of like hockey and my kids' hockey, and now they're playing baseball actually. So with their schedules, it's kind of crazy that we don't see each other as much as we do, but it's great having them in the house with the kids, and my kids love that. I mean, we try and not have them bug them too much, but they play hide and seek with them. They shoot hockey pucks with them, and So it's nice having them there.
So with your kids playing hockey, playing baseball, would it be awesome to see your kids dress up in the purple and black one day?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
or specifically your son, because
yeah. No, we never really pushed our kids to play hockey, but we nudged them, and they would fight us, and you kind of got to give them a little bit to get out there, and so they've come to love the game, and I don't really push them to like be. I don't want to push them to be in the NHL. I want them to be happy and play the game because they like it, and if they go and they play at higher levels, that's great. Like my daughter, it's pretty. I don't want to say easier, but there's not as many girls getting to the higher levels. So if she gets up there, gets a college scholarship, and same for my son. So it'd be great just to see him play at the college level.
And you talk about your daughter, and she won those couple championships, I believe, this year, or was it previously?
The last 2 years she won,
okay.
Yeah.
So how important has it been to see this new women's hockey league come in the face of media and be a total presence for women's sports?
It's great. I mean, my sister played hockey. She played actually out of this rink, and she went and played 4 years of college hockey in New York, and it's awesome to see it grow, and it's only gonna get bigger. They're only gonna gain more teams in that league, and there's gonna be more opportunity for girls to play at higher levels. So it's really good to see it, and it's I think it's helping get the younger girls to get into the rink and start skating. So.
Because I feel like my generation, when I was growing up, you think hockey, you think guys.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see that now the PWHL is selling out Little Caesars Arena,
yeah.
and it's super popular. So seeing that happen, and talking about a really important figure in your life, your wife. How exactly did you two meet?
Through another guy on my team.
Really?
Yeah. She was working at Buffalo Wild Wings in Danville. I didn't know who she was. So, it was. I'm trying to think. It was the year I got traded back from Dayton. So, and then we dated the whole next year, and then we moved back here. We had my daughter, and then had another daughter. So.
How many years are you going with her?
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Married at 7. We've been married for 7 years, but we've known each other for I want to say 10.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
But kind of concluding this episode, what are you most excited about? For obviously you mentioned that you're going to be able to go to your kids' games more. You're going to be able to be around your family a little bit more. What are you most excited for when the skates are off and it's your last time?
I want to say probably being with the kids' teams, and not just watching my kids get better, but watching the other kids on their teams get better and grow and learn new things, and I always said I didn't really want to coach, but being with their teams now the last couple of years, it's really rewarding, teaching them and seeing them get better, and there's the smile on their faces, when they see that that hard work pays off. So I think that'll be the best part.
So does that mean you're wanting to coach, or you want to stay around?
I don't want to be the head coach of the team. I want to be the assistant coach that the kids can come talk to and joke around with, and I don't want to be the guy that yells at them all the time.
You don't want to be the guy that makes the kids cry?
No, I don't.
Jules, thank you for coming on this episode. This was I'm congratulating you on a great season and a great career.
Thank you.
I hope this playoffs we get another championship so Gordy can kind of get off your case. So again, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you, fans, for watching this. Obviously, you'll see us in Danbury on Friday, here on Saturday, potentially Sunday. But be sure to tune in here on the YouTube channel, or you can be here in person. So contact Connor Jakacki for tickets for the playoffs. But that was the show today. So